All right, it's almost time for a brand new year. Are you guys ready? Are you jazzed to start 2022? I can't wait. I've had enough fun for 2021 and think the new year is going to bring great brand new opportunities. I was thinking about Jesus' first miracle. And if you tie that miracle to the idea in 2 Corinthians, it says, if anyone is in Christ Jesus, they are a new creation. Behold, the old things are gone and all things have become new. It's talking about you, the moment you trusted in Christ, your Adamic old nature was eliminated at that moment, and you were given the nature of God. You were given a godly nature, a new nature. At that very moment, you were brand new. Okay, it's not going to happen when you die. It's not going to happen at some date in the future. It happened at the very moment you trusted Christ to be the Messiah of the universe and the lover of your soul. So, with that in mind, Jesus is painting the picture in his first miracle at the wedding in Cana. And he says he's going about his business. It was probably, this is just my take on it, it's probably a pretty affluent situation. So Jesus had an attitude, a personality that would make him desirable at such a party. And they ran out of wine, which would have been a social faux pas. If you went to a fancy party that somebody was putting on, you would suppose they would have plenty of whatever they're providing at that situation. And so then his mom comes to him and says, hey, they're out of wine. And he shows a little bit of authority with his mom and says, that's not really this is not my wedding. This is not my deal. Yet he honors his mom and he tells the people to go get those kind of water jugs that collect the rainwater and stuff and bring them to him. Now think about that for a minute. Have you ever left a bucket or something out in the rain? And have you watched what happens to that water if you don't do anything with it? It gets pretty nasty. And I think that picture of those vases of nasty water is a picture of what our spirit looked like before we trusted in Christ. And then he does what he does. He says, all right, Father, here you go. You be you. You take care of this. And transforms the former thing into something brand new and invaluable. He converted it to some of the best wine available. Maybe the very best wine available. Something that a good wine has aged. And so I think that picture even shows you the power of God in your life to supersede time. That you entered into this thing called eternity the moment you first trusted, and so your aging process went to infinity at that point. You became an eternal being. So here you go. We've got the wine. Now they tell him, go get the head waiter to check it out. So the head waiter comes out and he goes, who does this? Who lets everybody get hammered on cheap wine and then brings good wine out? He's been to so many of these things. That's the opposite of what happens. Everybody gets their guests drunk on the cheapest stuff. They get them drunk initially on bringing out some of the good stuff. And then once they're kind of tipsy, they can't distinguish between ordinary and good. So they bring out the cheap stuff at the end. And so what he's saying, nobody brings the best stuff at the end. But that's just like God. He does the extraordinary when you least expect it. And he's able to do it beyond anything you can compare to. But here's the funny thing. I just got back from a conference for which they treat you like maybe a head waiter would at a snooty wedding. And I was thinking about somebody that worked at a kind of a situation like that. Can you imagine somebody that's constantly around the demands and the needs of the wealthy and is unimpressed by the more money they spend? He's unimpressed by their ability to make their party a little bit better than the last party. He's unimpressed by all the pretense that humans can create. He's unimpressed by that because he's seen it all. Nobody does it any better than the last guy. He may do it marginally better, but he's unimpressed by all that. So here's the guy that was most impressed by the miracle at Cana because he knew what happened. He knew that there was that nasty old water, and he transformed it. Jesus transformed it to this invaluable wine. He understood, as a man who had been in the presence of a lot of affluence, what the true miracle, what the true impressive thing is. So as you go about your new year and realize that you're a new creation in Christ, be impressed by what Jesus does in you. Be impressed by what he does around you. Be impressed by what he does in your friends' lives, because he is the real deal. He can take that water and transform it into something very special, just like he did to you. Have a great day.